Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our Doctor and Doctor directionH call today. Today we have a special treat for us in that we are going to be recording live Dr. Wilson, the formulator and founder of directionH, doing our newest preview of the directionH and directionH product. So Dr. Wilson, I know you have a pretty big group up there. We have a great group of callers online as well. So we're going to be having a plethora of people. If you have any questions, please write them down if you're on the call and email them to memberservices@directionh.org. Again, that's memberservices@directionh.org, and we'll make sure we get those questions answered. And then just a reminder, our next call will be April 11th at 10 a.m. for our Doctor and Doctor call. And without further ado, Dr. Wilson, if you could go ahead and open up, and we'll listen to you, and then we'll close down at the end. Dr. Wilson?
Thank you, Dr. Myers. I appreciate that. And a formal welcome to everyone that's here. I'm glad that you all could make it. I guess the first question to ask in these kind of presentations when we get together is, why am I here? What am I doing here? Well, let's start with this. This is who I am. This is what I do. My formal, what I call education into the workings of health began nearly 56 years ago, and it's been part of my life ever since. I spent 40 years as a natural healthcare professional. I have made 1.3 million chiropractic adjustments. I have consulted with, communicated to, talked with in excess of 400,000 people. I have put, as of counting right now, 209 different combinations of supplements and products into the marketplace. So I don't know what else to do. This is what I do. And why do I do it all? What's my intention? What's my purpose for doing this? Because I want each person that I come in contact with to have a better day. That's it. In the process of life, I would like today to be better than yesterday for you, and tomorrow to be better than today. That's it. So the second question is why are you here? Right? You're here. Why is that? Well, this must be in your DNA too. Something inside of you is saying to you, I believe, that my life can be better. Is that true? Right? We can do better in life. So the next question beyond that is, who's responsible for that? Okay? Each of us. And then if we are each responsible for that, are we doing the things that take us in the direction that we want to go? And then it becomes, how important is it to you to make those decisions? How important? And do you know what to do? So what I would like to share is what some of the practical stuff I've seen in 40 years of doing all this professionally and studying it for 55 years. Something that we can use. And it's all based around a single theme that runs through everything in life. It's is. There's no arguing with it. You can't deny it. It's not debatable. It's what we call the design. Okay? And what I'd like to share is success according to the design. And a little bit about our company, directionH, which is an association that's designed by the design. So I brought up the word design. What is the design? And if you get nothing else from today's meeting and time together, if you get the understanding that there is a design, that's the most important point. Because you can build on this as a foundation, as the groundwork for making positive changes in your life. So nature creates, constructs, and implements, and this is important, according to a plan. So how would that look according to us? Nature makes cells. Nothing else can make a cell besides nature. Now, you are constructed of 100 trillion cells. The complexity of what we're immersed in is beyond human comprehension. And they are all active, constantly being fed the waste products. They have to breathe constantly. They're all being handled and taken care of by the implementation according to the plan of how things work. So the design is how life works. And if we get this basic understanding, we can start to make positive change. So what are some of the examples of the design as far as it comes to our human existence? We all need to breathe air. We all need to drink fluids. We all need to seek nourishment. Any debate on this? It's the design. You can't argue with it. And we all know if you have better air, better water, or let's say quality, and good nutrition, your life will be better than if you don't. Is that agreed? Okay, these are kind of just basics. So what we want to talk about is an element of that. It's called nutrition. Now, I understand that there are a lot of other aspects, a lot of other elements to health. There's emotional health, there's mental health, there's many other aspects of health. There's many things we can do, modalities we can engage in. And I'm good with all the things that help people have better quality of life. But whenever you start in a study, you have to start at the foundation and the basics. If you don't have good quality air, good quality water, and good quality food, none of the other disciplines and other practices you engage in are going to make a difference. That's just the way I've seen it all these years. If you don't have the foundation laid, then health is always going to be suffering. Basic. And what this could be described as the design and how we look at it, we could call it the science of the obvious if we want. And I want it to be obvious, and I want it to make sense, and I want it to be a useful tool so that you can relate to it. I'm not trying to complicate things, and we could get as complicated as anybody wants, trust me. I've been doing this a long time. Here's another basic concept. We all need energy to live. We must have energy to function. Everything that takes place in your body requires energy. If you don't have energy, you're not going to get the function. So where does energy come from in the design? See, everything that lives, that has life on this planet, is given life from the sun. The sun lands on the earth, and what lands on the earth from the sun? Light, photon energy. And that photon energy is picked up by plants. This is the design. And then all animals and humans have to depend upon plants. We are, in essence, a combination of plant energies. So why would I use herbs as our energy nutrient, micronutrient source? What are these called over here? Animals that only eat plants? Herbivores. And that's what we all depend upon, plants. Now, we can use animals' energies and their activities to make our lives more efficient. Because you could get all you needed from eating plants, but you know, these animals, and I'm showing pictures of cows and sheep up here, but these animals, how much of their day do they spend grazing and gathering food? All day. Is that how you want to spend your lives? No, we have other things we can do. So they can do some of the work for us. And they can contribute to us some of the elements that we make ourselves out of, the building blocks. But where do we get the energy to function? You see, it must come from the plants. Now, Is coal tar a nutrient? Would you eat coal tar as a nutrient? Where you go, well, that's kind of an odd question. Well, when you think about a lot of supplements like vitamins, B vitamins, what are they made from? They come from coal tar. So when people ask me, how come, or where are the vitamins, and how come I don't use vitamins and minerals? Because they are not, or certain compounds of minerals, because they are not natural. It's not part of the design that's not compatible with us. Does this all make sense? Okay, I'm not wanting to lose anybody in this discussion, but there's kind of a building block process, and I'll keep it very simple. So the design of how we think success is, what we know success is, what we've experienced success is, what we're going to talk about is design of what works in two categories, human health, and then we're going to add financial health. We don't put a lot of stress on this, but a lot of people are stressed financially, health-wise and finance. And if we can help, what's wrong with that? Okay, product health. Nature offers the benefits. We follow the intelligence. As an example, how intelligent is nature in helping and supporting our systems? If you study health and you've been involved in some of the research, there's probably the premier Cancer Research Institute and Therapy Center in the medical community in the United States is a place called MD Anderson. Anybody heard of that? Out of Houston. Okay? They are in love with a molecule that comes out of a spice called turmeric. And what they have found, now these guys are top level, top tier, they're the best. And what they have found is that this spice knows the difference between a cancer cell and a healthy cell. It will go in and neutralize the energetic pathways and inhibit a cancer cell from functioning. At the same time, a healthy cell sitting right next to a cancer cell, it'll nourish and support its energy pathways. That's intelligence. It's not an indiscriminate blanket killing of everything involved. It has understandings of what it needs to do. And every plant has that same capacity. They've just fallen in love with that one for now. But there'll be others coming up. Because through 5,000 years of recorded history, they've been shown to work. And we're just catching up. So all our products, all our micronutrient products are herbal and plant-based. And we put them together in special blends. I'll talk about that a little bit. Now, something that we hear a lot about is, are they safe? Are they effective? Well, there's recorded history going back through all of recorded history, hundreds of cultures and millions of people that have shown that they are safe and proven to work. Now, if you had something that was safe and proven to work over 5,000 years, would you feel comfortable with that? I certainly do, and I've seen it. Now, what we also use is we use the original plant intention, the whole plant purpose, because plants are like people. They have personalities. They don't do one thing. They don't have one job they can do. Maybe they can work and cook and have recreation and have friends and work together. They have personalities. And in science, oftentimes what we do is we want to measure a single pathway of a single isolate, and that's good science because now you can see it working. And then you can measure another one, and you can measure another one. But the real goal is to see how it works in real life, what it does for people. And that's what we do. And we can get into the complexities at different times. I just want to introduce some ideas. Now, we pick our plants from the best places on earth, and each plant that grows in a different location has a different purpose, has a different function. Just like people. If you grow up here, you have a certain culture and understanding and language that you speak. If you grow up in India, you have a totally different culture and language and behave differently, even though we can look the same. We are more similar than we are dissimilar. We also have a macronutrient. Macronutrients are the proteins primarily that we're composed of. Based on human wholeness and the requirements for life, there are many, I would consider, unique concepts in directionH. We didn't invent them. These are not my ideas. These are things I see. These are things that I've put together over all these years. One of the concepts is that there's a human energetic template. And what do I mean by that? Is that different systems in our body require different amounts of energy at different times. If you want the maximum use of your body and maximum function, provide the nutrients in the ratio that your body requires at the time it needs it. And what will you have if you do that? You will support function. And health is the ability to function. And that's what we want for you. Now, these are gifts, so we handle them with extreme care. We respect it. We're very concerned about the quality of the products we produce. I mentioned earlier that there's a lot of things being called natural now, or organic. And it's marketing terms anymore. These things aren't real. We want to use what's real, what's natural. You see, if I take a plant and I feed it synthetic fertilizer, can I call it organic? Well, maybe in this day and age, but not really. You can't do anything synthetic to a plant and then call it organic. That's the whole point of calling it organic. It's in the natural cycles. You use natural cycles to call it organic. Well, can I put a synthetic in you and now call it organic? You can't do that. Can I put a synthetic into a microbe, which is a kind of an upcoming thing in nutrition, and call that an organic molecule? You can't. Synthetics are very simple type molecules. Organic molecules are very complex. They're designed by the design. So let's talk about product categories we have. We have metabolic designed products, and we have focused designed. So first of all, there is a design. The design works by feeding us energy, nutrients that it makes, that are abundant, that are all around us, and that's what all animals live on. Where we have come in our country now is, how are we doing with health? How do most people think the health in this country is? 85% of the people in this country die of either cancer, heart attacks, or diabetes. Now, isn't that sad? At a young age. Alzheimer's is in younger and younger populations. Right now, there's full-blown Alzheimer's in 40-year-olds, and they say in 20 years, at this progression, in 20 years, Alzheimer's will be in the high schools. That's where this is headed. So if we keep doing what we've been doing, should we expect something better to happen as a society? No. See, we have to be aware of what's going on. We're adults now. We're responsible people. So, metabolic design products we have is we have our Direction Lean Ultimate Results. Now, this is a toxin, fat, size loss, advancement system. What does that mean? It means it does all that. We reduce toxins. The fastest way to get your body to work better is just to get the toxins out, clean it up. It also, to get the toxins out, because fat produces toxins, the fastest way you can reduce your toxic inflammatory load is to get rid of the fat, burn it off, right? It works. You feel better. You have more energy. The third thing is you lose size when you do. That's what we want. And it works. It just works. It's worked when you follow it. The next thing we have is that once you get through with this system, this is where we recommend a lot of people begin. Once you get through with this system, some people will still have a little trouble with carbohydrates. Now, in nature, when you look around, there's no animal that can live a healthy life on carbohydrates. Zero. When they raise cattle in the last 60 days, what do? They grain them. What if they grain them for 90 days? What will happen to the cattle? They get sick, right? You cannot feed animals high carbohydrate diets. So what happens when we do that to people? Should we expect something different? That's what happens. But the challenge is carbohydrates are extremely addicting, probably the most addicting substance on earth. And so it becomes a little difficult to make these transitions. If you've been doing something for, let's say, 30, 40, 50 years as a pattern, as a habit, you want to break a 50-year habit of the most addicting substance on earth? It's worse than quitting cigarettes. Come on. This is tough. So we designed carb control for that purpose. And then the next one in our metabolic design is protein first. Now these on this side, these systems are vehicles. We all came in here to this meeting in a car. I don't see anybody here that came on a motorcycle, but we all came in a car. It's a vehicle. It's not you want to stay in your car all day. It has a purpose to get you to a place, and once you get to that place, then you are doing something else. That's the purpose of these systems. It's to take you from where you are in your metabolism. You sit in this vehicle, and when you get to your destination, your metabolism will be different. That's the purpose. These aren't lifetime programs. These aren't things you stay on. These are things that take you from where your metabolism is in our society basis where it's not working to bring you to a place in your metabolism that will work, that will support you, that gives you your best opportunity, not a guarantee for perfect health, but will give you your best opportunity to health. Then on the focus side, these are some of our micronutrient blends. We have 24 brain. Now this could also be called an immune support system. It's interesting after people have been on 24 brain for a while that they report back how long it's been since they've been sick. Now, does it keep everybody from getting sick every time or what's deemed? No, but it's often interesting to see how well it supports people through life. And that's what it's designed for. Now, these formulas are complex. There's a lot goes on in behind them. Just a little technical side to it, right? These are based on the hierarchical needs, hierarchical energetic needs, based upon the human energetic template. We've talked about that before. And in our systems, our brains require the most energy. Then the heart, then the kidneys, then the liver, then the immune system. You see? So if we support energetically all these systems simultaneously in their needs when they need it, then you have the best chance, the best opportunity for function. Does that make sense? Okay? From the energy that's provided by the design. That's how it works. Now, there's also differences between males and females. They're different. Imagine that. I know, hard to believe. And then there's also a difference in the different age categories, and there's differences between day and night. So why I'm saying all this is because all this you can get kind of lost in the detail, but that's not the point. The point is these are tools for you to use that have been designed just like your car. It's very complex. Your car is a masterpiece of engineering, but you don't need to know what kind of alloy your wheels are made of. You don't need to know the substance in the rubber of your tires. At some point we have to have an understanding that this is how things work. The next thing we have is brain peace. Brain peace is our number one seller because it settles the pathways of inflammation. It settles the pathways of irritation, whether it be mental, emotional, or physical. Is it a cure-all for everything? Does it make everything go instantly away? It brings it down into a place where it's manageable for most people. And then we have our energy adjustments, our EAs. We're going to do EA2 and EA3 into the future. And these are for you to be able to adjust your energy as you wish. If you want more energy at a time, remember there's a price to pay for every action in your body. The more energy you produce, the more you have to deal with the consequences of that extra energy. You make your car go faster, there are consequences to that. This is done based upon the energetic template so that you can produce and have more energy without having a downside. These are all truly natural formulas. So financial health. This is also a vehicle. We offer a people helping people reward system because that's how the design works. When you help somebody else, do you feel better? Why is that? Why is that automatic? When you help somebody else, you feel better? Because that's the design. It's the positive feedback you get from doing something worthwhile to help somebody else. It's natural. We have a business structure that's in consideration of others. What does that mean? We have a business structure that doesn't have a heavy, let's say, overload to it. We don't have CEOs. We don't have a lot of top-level management. We're all on the same playing field. We have an association where everybody is equal. Everybody comes in it at the same place. We have a distribution model based on doing what is right, not greed. So if you help somebody else, you should be rewarded for that. It's natural to get the energy of feeling better from helping somebody else. It's also natural that that energy be returned in other ways. We feel it's appropriate. Not greed. Don't lie to your neighbors or force your neighbors if they're not interested. Don't push. What we've found is that people get better and they get healthier and they're feeling better. You know what happens? Somebody goes, wow, I see you're doing different these days. You're feeling better. How'd that happen? You go, well, if you want to know, I'll tell you. And then it's up to them. Don't push. We're not pushies. As a matter of fact, we're subtleties. We're very subtle. We have a structure that offers opportunities to give the others. We have a nonprofit foundation. We have a lot of projects ready to go. And we have an ongoing opportunity that has the flexibility to adapt because we're an association. We're all in this together. We can work together. We believe your cells in your body, 100 trillion of them, what if they decide not to work together? How would your health be? What if they go off and start replicating on their own and contributing nothing back? What do we call that? It's wrong. It's not supporting the health of your body. Well, the same thing in society. There are just scales of function. And we have two ways to join our company. We are a membership-based company like Costco and just about everything else these days. We have a wholesale membership, and Pamela's going to go into that a little bit more later. And the wholesale membership allows you to buy our products at a wholesale rate, what we call community pricing. It also allows you to communicate to others what we're doing. And then we have a retail membership for those people who just want to become part of directionH and take the products, and that's it. And we don't judge whatever you want to do. So this is what we've found. Generally, when people follow how things work, is they feel better about themselves. They're making positive decisions about their life. They're doing things that benefit them. And the feedback is, the natural feedback is, they feel better. If you do something to harm somebody else, how do you feel? If you do something to harm yourself, how do you feel? How should you feel? Right? But if you do things that are positive, how should you feel? Of course. We start to live a healthy lifestyle. It's reward in itself. When you feel better, when you have more energy, when you're not as stressed, you enjoy life better, you enjoy family better, you enjoy friends. It's natural. It's normal. You know how energy You walk into a room, you can tell the vibe in a room, whether it's happy, sad, irritated, right? If your energy is better because you're healthier, what do you do to the vibe in the room? You bring it up. You're contributing, right? What does that do for others? Wow, everybody just gets a little bit brighter, right? Isn't that what we're supposed to do? Shine a little brighter, shine a little light. Now if you have enough energy, you can. How about participating in a sustainable future? Do you want to do today what will support and help you tomorrow and make you stronger into the future? Yeah. We also would like you to experience less stress in finances. We don't want to create more stress on any level with finances. It's a big issue. It's a lot of stress. We don't want to go there. We just want to create financial health from doing the right thing. And remember, all things are a process. Just like your health won't regenerate in a night because that's how it works, finances don't regenerate in a night. You don't find us talking about any get-rich-quick schemes, and you don't find us participating in any get-health-quick schemes. We're not promising you a one-pill cure or one thing to this. Right? It's all a process of life. And life is don't you think life deserves a little more respect, a little more consideration than just throwing something out there kind of haphazard? So, we know the need is great. We know the timing is now. We know to bring this about is critical individually and for those we come in contact with. And our solutions work. They just work because it's based upon how things work. What we do, the reason it works, it's because it's how it works. It's how life works. And if anything here makes sense to you, these are not my ideas. You can make them your own too. Right? I'm not making this up. These are discoveries. But when we do and we engage in the process, now we're working on the most important thing we have, the most important commodity, our human well-being. It all starts with that foundation. Nutrition, like good water, good air, is the basics. It's the foundation. This is where it starts. If you don't have this groundwork in place, then all the other esoteric events, all the other modalities and machines and everything else that you attempt to do won't have as great an impact. It'll be marginal without the basics. But these basics are amazing at how well it can carry you. And if you get the basics down, we've seen it do miraculous things in people. Miraculous. Because that is also the design. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Dr. Wilson. That was awesome. Appreciate the presentation as well as the feedback from the people there. I just want to remind everyone, our next call, April 11th. And if you have any questions, please email memberservices@directionh.org, and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you, everyone. Have an awesome day.